What was it like in that hole where Saddam Hussein spent his last moments as a free man? We're going to take you inside in a moment. But first, we introduce you to the man who got Saddam. Colonel James Hickey has been putting the puzzle together one piece at a time for months. He launched 12 raids against the Iraqi dictator before Saturday night's capture. Today, Colonel Hickey took Scott Pelley to the site of Saddam's last stand and told us about the army he sent to catch a man.
About 600 soldiers, lots of tanks, Bradleys, aircraft, Humvees, howitzers in position ready to provide fire support.
Just to capture Saddam Hussein?
Well, our estimate was there was going to be armed resistance.
You were expecting a gunfight?
Absolutely.
It won't open.
The capture of Saddam was nothing like Colonel James Hickey expected. The 8-month manhunt ended here.
This is it.
In a muddy orange grove where the dictator had fallen from palaces to pauper.
This is about what it looked like when we got here.
Hickey showed us the one-room shack and outdoor kitchen where Saddam was reduced to squalor. He still fancied himself president of a nation, but here he was the lord of the flies.
It's happy tuna.
Saddam's kitchen.
Well, for some time, I guess.
He's got his instant coffee, cans of tuna, and jars of beans. And beef luncheon meat.
Hickey's intelligence officers identified one man in particular, a ranking member of Saddam's personal security team. That man was found last week, and that was the key. The man has not been identified, but he gave up Saddam's hideout. Hickey wouldn't say why the man betrayed Saddam, but within hours of doing so, Hickey's force moved in under cover of darkness, and suddenly the power went out in the village where Saddam was hiding.
As good fortune would have it, the electricity went out in the town of Ador, which further masked our approach.
Good fortune?
Good fortune.
How did that happen?
It just happened.
It just happened because of a special forces team called Task Force 121. The special forces team searched the shack, but there was no Saddam. But then they took a second look.
I think they heard a sound initially and pulled back a small piece of carpet. Again, found a small block of styrofoam that was covered with some earth. Removed that, and they clearly saw a man down there, and they saw two hands come up out of the bottom of the hole.
The hole is just at the end of an orange grove right under this date palm tree. And it's a hole just the size for one man. I'm going to take this camera down and give you a look at what it's like. And this is it. There's a light right up here, a fluorescent light connected above by an electrical wire. This is a concrete wall, looks like about, it's less than 2 feet across. And then over here, the same thing, tiny little space with a fan also connected by the same wire. And this hole here, this pipe, is connected to the pipe that goes outside and brings in fresh air. There's just enough room. I'm 6 feet tall. There's just enough room to lie down in here, but nothing more than that. Just a tiny concrete vault, and there's the opening that leads back outside. The floor is just dirt. And this is it. This is the last thing that Saddam saw as a free man. And this would be the first thing that the American forces saw, though in the darkness, when Saddam came out of the hole. He was dressed in a dishdasha, which is the Arab robe that flows to the ground, and he had his pistol strapped to his hip.
He was pulled out, and he introduced, according to the soldier I spoke to who did it, he said, "I am Saddam Hussein, president of Iraq, and I'm willing to negotiate." And the rejoinder was, President Bush sends his regards.